Well, my brother was stationed at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and that's where he met my husband Larry. He met him there, and he brought him home one weekend because Larry knew the sheriff of Pittsfield, Illinois, and he brought him home with him so he could go visit in Pittsfield. Well, the night that they came by the hospital, and I was working at that time, but they came up on the floor and he introduced me to him, and then later he called me and wanted to know if we could go out, and we started going out together. We didn't go together very long before he asked me to marry him, and we were married in, first of all, when we met, he was still stationed there, but like I say, he even would come back and forth, on the weekends to visit me before we got married. Well, then he gave me a ring, but then I didn't hear from him for so long that I thought something was wrong. Well, he had developed pneumonia and was put in the hospital at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and just didn't get to let me know. Nobody let me know. And so when he finally did let me know, I thought, well, gee, he's probably changed his mind. That's what I thought. But anyway, we got that all taken care of. And then, of course, they found out I had to get TB, and we were going to be married in March. And the doctor said, I told him that I didn't think we ought to get married because I didn't know if I'd be sick all my life or what, I didn't know what the future held. And he said, whether we're going to get married anyway. So the doctor said that we could get married, but we were to make sure that I didn't get pregnant and not to travel too far away from that area for a honeymoon. So that's what we did. And he went back to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and I went in the sanitarium.
Was your wedding big?
Well, it was all my family and some of the kids from that I knew there at nurses training, and I would say probably 50, 60 people, something like that. It was, I had a beautiful dress, and my dad walked me down the aisle, and it was a nice wedding.
So it was a church wedding.
Oh, it was, right. We were married in the Presbyterian church.
He wasn't a Christian at the time, right?
No. I think years before that he'd made a profession of faith, but he never really. But as time went on, and the kids were born, and I was taking them to Sunday school and church, and he didn't really want to go. He'd want to go out fishing and that. And one day he said to me, "You'll never come and go fishing with me." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. If you'll come and go to church with me, then after we get out, I'll go fishing with you." So our pastor at that time, his name was Reverend Kerr, and he said, "Betty, just be faithful, pray, he will come." So he did.
Then he became a pastor.
Yes. He was called into the ministry, and we moved from Bath, Michigan over to Leslie, and that's the first church he was in there was called First Baptist Church. It was an American Convention church, and they had said they were going to get out of the convention because when he went there to interview, he told them that he was not a convention pastor, that he just couldn't go along with a lot of their rules, and that if they were going to stay in it, he couldn't be their pastor. Well, they said they were going to come out of it. And so they called him the ministry, and I don't think we were there more than a year or a year and a half. And they just never would make any move. And so finally, one Sunday evening, he said to me, I'm going to ask them the question tonight. If they're going to come out of the convention, I will stay. But if they're not, this will be my last message. So, as he stood in the pulpit that night, and he asked what their intentions were, and there were several older members there that just didn't want to make any changes, and so they didn't vote to get out, and so he just picked up his Bible, walked out the door.
Did peace
And
out. Sounds
took me
familiar.
by the hand, and all the kids followed, but there were
Mm-hmm.
3 families that followed us out.
Hmm.
And said, will you start a church here? And he said, it depends on what the Lord leads us to do. He said, we've got to have a building, we've got to have a place for us to live because we're in the church parsonage, and it'll depend on that. And so it was, the Barnharts were one. The other people, I can't remember their name right at this time. They were an elderly couple, and then there was a younger couple, and we were all standing out on the corner. There was a street light there. So we had a word of prayer, and we divided, and of course I started packing because I knew we were going to have to move because we're going to have to get a new pastor. And it was winter too, I remember, and boy, it came right up to almost the last day, and the phone rang, and it was a man that lived there in Leslie, and he said, we have a hall that, he said, I understand you're looking for a church building. And he said, I have a hall, and we used to be in Grange Hall where the farmers all met, and it hasn't been used for years. He said, if your husband would like to rent it to hold services there, why, that would be good. You know, they talked it over and they would rent it. Well, it had all kitchen facilities there, it had bathrooms, it had everything upstairs and down. And then, of course, there was a place to live. Well, there was another guy that lived downtown in Leslie, and it was about the same thing with him. He called my husband, and he said that he was going to have to go to the Upper Peninsula because his mother was very sick. He didn't know how long he'd be gone, and wanted to know if we'd come and live in his house, live there in his house till he could get back. So that's what we did. We moved from the parsonage into that house, and we started the church, and all we had was, we didn't have chairs, it was just like benches like in there, and it had been used for dances and everything, you know, so there was no platform or anything like that. So anyway, we started it with those few families, and we went out calling almost every day. And it began to grow, and we bought a bus, and we all worked on the bus route. We'd go out almost every day calling and getting people in. And so as time went on, they built a platform in there. They got all new pews in there. They put fixed the front of the building to look more like a church. It had a steeple and everything, and so that's where we were when he passed away in 1974.